Have you ever walked away from a conversation thinking, what is wrong with that person? What if the real question is, what is broken inside that person? The pickling brine of Asperger's within neurodiverse families is fraught with anxiety, both for the Aspies and the Cassandras. Today, we'll talk about how anxiety breaks us and what the solution is. Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Liv.
And together, we're Liv and Steve.
God's plan in creation was always for whole, healthy human beings, enjoying intimate relationship with himself and other human beings. True love involves choice. We are free to choose relationship with our Creator. Freedom of choice is costly. Adam and Eve were deceived by a very jealous and furious Lucifer, who coveted what the sons and daughters of God had. In that moment of the fall in the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve instantly encountered something they had never before encountered: anxiety. In Philippians 4, verse 6, it says, "Do not be anxious about anything." That word anxious is a Greek word that means fractured. Anxiety fractures us, and we do not feel like a whole, healthy person. This is exactly what our enemy, the devil, wanted to happen to Adam and Eve and to us.
From that point on, in the history of the world, brokenness followed. Individuals and families were fractured and shattered. Wounded people go on to wound others. This is why Jesus came, to restore everything lost, broken, and stolen. In the culture of neurodiversity, it is a double whammy. Not only are individuals and relationships fractured, but the relational dysfunctions leaves those in the pickling brine of neurodiversity feeling completely helpless and hopeless.
So, how do we access Jesus for the healing of our fractured souls? I like to break it down and go back to the start. There was a time where we were each completely whole and unfractured. When God, our Creator Father, made us, we were a tiny, complete spirit in heaven with God, and He wrote a book about us. Jeremiah 1:5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you." And Psalm 139:16 says, "Your eyes saw my unformed body, and all the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." We were with God in heaven before we were released into our earthly destiny, knit together with our parents' flesh in our mother's womb. Isn't this amazing to consider that this is our origin? Now, if we were once unfractured and unharmed in any way, and that is our origin, we now know what Jesus came to restore us back to that origin.
Isaiah 42:22 is a verse that describes the chaos of neurodiverse families. But this is a people plundered and looted. They are, all of them, trapped in holes and hidden in prisons. They have become plunder with none to rescue, spoil with none to say, restore. Lib and I are here to cry, restore. We are here to help you access heaven's power, the power that is available because Jesus went to the cross to storm the gates of hell and bring restoration. We are here to help you step back into your story, the story that God wrote especially for you.
I just love to ponder that God wrote a book about each of us. Isn't it amazing that it's never too late to catch up with the chapters we've skipped over as a result of brokenness and pain? Whether you are 29 or 99, it's never too late. This week I had a dream that I think was the Heavenly Father giving me an analogy to share with you all. In the dream, Steve and I had gone on a vacation to a foreign country. We had done no planning, and when I got there, I realized I hadn't packed clothes or anything. It was a very strange place. Anything we needed, we had to dig through big, dirty bins to see if there was something that would work. We had to share space with other people in a similar situation. It was dark and foreboding. I think this is a picture of neurodiversity. When many of us started out life with our Asperger partners, we did not have diagnosis and we had no idea what was coming our way. It was a wild, unplanned journey. We didn't know what we didn't know, so we couldn't fix what needed fixing. and we spoke different languages. It's like we each came from opposite foreign lands and didn't even realize it.
In eternity past, God looked down the quarters of time, and he saw you and me in light of his perfect love, his design and imprint unique to each of us with our physical characteristics and all aspects of our personality perfectly integrated into a cohesive whole, giving and receiving love from the Heavenly Father and revealing his glory in a way that only we can do. What a beautiful picture it is to live in harmony with the Creator in creation when we are led by our Spirit-led self. We now live in a fallen world where brokenness compounds brokenness and trauma begets trauma, and our Spirit-led self is fractured. The undiagnosed Aspies family can become a soul-crushing trauma factory. In this environment, the parts of our personality that God intended for good can be recruited, a part of our Spirit-led self, and put to use in our soul in a way that protects our hearts, but further leads to relational disintegration. Recently, I have come to see parts of my soul, procrastination, criticism, anger, judging, there are more, as being recruited to protect my heart. The book, Boundaries for Your Soul, is one of the resources God is using to shine light into this area and bring healing into my soul. Next week, we will delve deeper into the process of bringing healing into these parts so we can become the whole, healthy, Spirit-led soul that God intended.
When I respond to someone through a lens of pain, I am responding out of a damaged part. If I were able to respond every time out of total, complete health, there would be no opportunity for anyone to offend me because I would be unoffendable. This is how Jesus walked on earth, as a completely whole and perfect human being who was also fully God. Jesus never got fractured. He was always his whole, true self. He was never with anxiety. Therefore, he was never fractured. Jesus was always able to understand when people talked out of their pain, and the Father was able to speak so clearly to him in his unfractured status and reveal what was wrong with the person he was ministering to. Healed people heal others. Back in 2017, I began an intense journey of inner healing, which eventually drew Steve's attention enough to make him curious and seek healing himself. My inner healing journey is ongoing because the devil never takes a vacation. And I still have pockets of pain that I'm working on, but my true self is coming out more and more. How amazing.
Today, we just want you to know that there is great hope for your fractured parts to be made whole. In our next episode, we will continue with this theme and go over some ways that healing can happen. We hope that you will come back and join us to see how this works. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll not miss it, and we appreciate any likes you can give us.
Please share this with anyone who could benefit from it. And don't forget to reach out to us with any questions at liveandsteve@gmail.com. See you next time as Steve and I each walk you through a real healing of our inner parts.